Oliver, this morning the Financial Conduct Authority announced that it's going to do a big wide-sweeping investigation into the corporate banking and investment banking sector in the UK. Can you tell me what it's about?
Yeah, the FCA, one of many financial regulators in the UK, is going to investigate corporate and wholesale banking and investment banking. It's done a sort of preliminary chat around the industry. It's spoken to investment banks and their clients and investors and various other sort of actors in the game to see what they think. And it's come out with a wide range of areas that it thinks merit further and fuller investigation. One of the things it's particularly concerned about is bundling. This is where a big investment bank will sell two products very closely linked together. For example, it might give a loan at a very cheap rate to a corporate client on the condition that the corporate client also gives the bank its equity or debt underwriting work, which is far more lucrative for the bank. In that way, the investment bank ensures it gets the more lucrative work, but potentially it stops other smaller competitors who can't offer the cheap loan that goes with it from coming into the market. So that's one of the things that the regulators are concerned about. But there's a whole range of things that they're going to look at. It's a very wide-ranging review, perhaps even too wide-ranging.
Okay. And most of these banks are big global banks, and the companies are big multinational companies. Is this going to be effective, the FCA?
Well, yes, this is one of the big sort of uncertainties about it. It is a global market, and if the FCA manages to stop one particular practice here, there's nothing to stop these big multinational banks and their clients from doing something similar elsewhere. As you say, it is a big global market. There's also a question of whether the FCA is big enough to take on these huge investment banks. There's only going to be a dozen or so people working on this investigation against the might and huge lobbying power of the big investment banks, which doesn't sound like an awful lot. And of course, even if they do find something wrong, investment banks are experts at finding their ways around the rules to find a way to do whatever it is that they want to do, as they have done so often in the past. So yeah, I think it'll be very difficult for the FCA to make something stick here.
Okay. Following the letter of the law and sort of working. So why else might they be doing the investigation?
Well, perhaps there's a political angle to it. There's an election coming up in the UK. Regulators want to be seen to be doing something, and the banking industry is always an easy target. Another regulator, the Competition and Markets Authority, is already looking at the current account market. So there's always a sort of a political incentive to go after the banks, and it's kind of the kind of thing that bank investors should well be used to now. There's a lot of regulatory interest in the sector, a lot of it, whether it's demands for more capital or conduct or competition investigations or whatever it might be. And this isn't going to end. It's just going to be an never-ending sort of way of keeping pressure on the banking system. And that's something the banks and their investors will have to learn to live with.
Excellent. Thank you very much.